Hi, welcome to Kassy's Parlor. Today we're going to make a slimline card using some Gina K Designs products. We have a beautiful butterfly stamp set here. It has two really pretty butterflies and some different sentiments, which is lovely. It's called Never Lose Hope. And then we have a watercolor floral ephemera pack. So let's just get going. I'm going to open this ephemera pack so we can see all the beautiful pieces in here. There are lots of pieces and it's just a lot of just watercolor flowers, as it says. So let's bring this out. Very nice. I like to, when I'm going to work with ephemera packs like this, I like to just take them out and spread them out and see what I have and see, you know, what is going to work for me. I mean, this flower is just beautiful. Look at that, all the detail in here. This is beautiful. I love these colors. There's some great foliage in here. So we've got a lot of good stuff to work with. I'm going to kind of put it off to the side a little bit just so it's available to me while I'm sort of working out the card that we're going to make. And then of course we'll be using this beautiful stamp set. So let's get that out as well. I do love butterflies. I can't seem to have enough of them. I don't know about you, but these are really pretty. I like that they're two different sizes, and one has a lot more solid and the other one is just more detail and dots in it. And the sentiments are really great. It says, each day is a new beginning, never lose hope, hello friend, and spread your wings and fly. So those are great everyday sentiments. I love making cards for people just to make them, just to have them in a stash somewhere when you want to, you know, send a card to a friend just to cheer them up or let them know you're thinking about them. So that's what we're going to do today, and I'm really excited. I love also making slimline cards. You can put them in a regular business size envelope, which was the point of them, and they're really just, it's a fun, different kind of format. You know, it's long and a little bit more skinny than the standard size card that we're used to making. So I decided that we're going to do this today. So I've got my card base, which is just a Nina heavy cardstock that has been scored. And so in case you don't know, slimline cards are when they're folded are 3.5 by 8.5. So you can take a normal 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper and cut it down to 8.5 by 7 and then fold it in half, and then you'll have your 3.5 by 8.5. So it's really nice and easy. You don't waste, you know, you have that rest of that card you can stamp on, put your sentiment, things like that, or whatever. But it's just really nice and simple, and I love that. Then I also have this piece of rose gold glitter card. Isn't this beautiful? And I thought that would layer up nicely onto the front of the card. So this is going to be covering the front of the card as a matte layer. And then I have a piece of, and this is also 3.5 by 8.5, sorry. And then I have a piece of just watercolor cardstock. It's kind of got a rough texture, so it's going to give us some really beautiful texture when we're playing with our supplies. And it has been cut to 3.25 by 8.25 so that it just layers in there really nicely. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. I'm going to put these aside so they don't get messed up when we're playing with this beautiful piece of paper. I really want to do a couple things today. I want to use some distress embossing glaze. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is do the tone on tone with the saltwater taffy for the background here, and then use both of those to make a really subtle but beautiful background. And what I really want to do is use a sentiment. How often do you use a sentiment to make a background? I probably will also use some butterflies, but I want to start with the sentiment here. Okay, I got some Wow embossing ink, and I'm just going to stamp here and there. How many times have you used a sentiment repeating in a background to layer and make something? I would even say put some upside down. You just want it to be more of a texture for you than this is something you're necessarily going to read. Okay, I'm just going to do a few because I am using watercolor paper, and sometimes this ink really likes to soak into that quickly. So I just want to make sure we get good coverage. And again, I'm using the Distress embossing glaze in saltwater taffy. Look at how pretty that is. And you can always add more. I'm going to add a couple of butterflies here, so I'm just going to let that be. Okay, then I've also got this the larger butterfly here, and I'm going to ink that up in just a couple of places down the line and use that also as the background. Okay, and once again, we're going to use saltwater taffy and emboss this beautiful butterfly. This last one down here. Look at how pretty. Oh, I love it. I wonder, let's see. I'm going to put one more up here before I emboss those other ones. I think it'd be nice to just have one more up in this corner. And this is a good time too to decide, do you have enough of the sentiment for the background? Do you want to fill in any holes? I think I really like this. I probably could use one more right there though, actually. Let's just keep this going here. I'm going to grab that sentiment again and fill in just a little bit. Actually, I'm going to use a different one. There's a Hello Friend, which is really small. And I think I would like to just have a couple little pieces here and there. So yeah, it's nice to have different size and shape things to just have as filler. And you sort of want to have like a tossed look, you know, where it's kind of here and there and different angles and stuff like that. So let's see how that looks. There we go. And I'm just going to pour this right on top of here and move it around. Easy enough. I'm a messy crafter, so my way is not the same as other people, the way other people do it. There we go. Oh my gosh, this is so pretty. Whoops, I got a little bit, took a little of that off. Okay, I really like this. Filled in nicely. Let's heat it. Okay, this is so beautiful. Look at how nice and delicate that is. I love using the sentiments in the background as well. Just that repeating statement tossed all around. It makes for a really nice texture. And, you know, it's just the repeating pattern really that, that is exciting there. Okay, so now we are going to put some more color on top of this. So again, I've got Coral Crush here, Pixie Sparkles. So I'm just going to start with that and see where it takes me. Oh, that's a lot. Okay, let's just see. So this Pixie Sparkle is very cool because you add water and it just kind of blooms everywhere. I am also going to use a paintbrush to move this color around. I kind of want it just to be here and there. I am going to add a little bit of the green just for a little contrast, but I want the predominant color here to be this lovely blush. And look at how nicely that goes with the coral or the saltwater taffy. Gives us a nice tone-on-tone finish. So I'm actually going to dry this and then add the green so that we have less mixing of the colors. Okay, that's mostly dry. Now I'm going to add some of the green. This is called Zesty Lime, and I'm just going to put a little bit here and there. There we go. And then spritz it again. Oh, look at how pretty. I love this. See, it's just adding a little bit of fun and just a tiny bit of contrast. Oh, I think it's gorgeous. And it has such a nice shimmer to it. And because we have embossed this background, I'm getting a really nice resist here as well. So let's dry this and then we will build our card. Okay, I really love this. I love where the green is against that saltwater taffy too. And look at that shimmer from the Cosmic Shimmer Sparkles. Okay, so now we're going to build our card really. So I am going to bring back the base and we're just gonna start sticking this together, and then I am going to embellish on top. Okay, before I stick this down to the base, I do want to put some seam binding on it just to make a nice ribbon tie. So I'm going to cut a little off here, and what I like to do, I like to cheat a little bit. So I will make a knot. And sometimes I do bows, sometimes I do knots, but today we're going to just do a knot. That looks good. And then I like to, you know, this is probably going to be off-centered, like over here. So then I will cut this like this, and then just wrap it around and glue it down. And that is an easy way to get a knot for yourself here. So then I took those side pieces of tape off because I want to be able to stick this to it. There we go. Oops. There we go. Okay, and then I cut this a little too long, but there we go. All right, and then I can peel off these other two pieces and stick it all down. All right, and then we'll just build right on top. And since I cut this to be the exact size of the front of the card, I just like to stand it up and I kind of let the bottom line up with each other and then feel it on the sides and then stick it all down. And that usually works pretty well. So, okay, so now we've got our card base done already. How cool is that? I love this cute little ribbon here. I do really want to use a piece of this pattern paper that I have with just some words on it to stamp my butterfly and cut that out, and that's going to be part of my focal point. So I'm going to use the other butterfly, so we're using both of them in this project, which I think is great. Then I'm going to use some jet black archival. I just want this to stand out pretty well against all of the beautiful colors that we've added here. All right, and I'm gonna kind of just put it on here sideways. I don't necessarily want those words to be, you know, in a straight line, and I don't care if you can read them. You know, it's just providing a fun, interesting texture and background for this butterfly. So then I'm just gonna fussy cut it really quick. Okay, such a pretty butterfly. I'm so excited to use this here. So that is going to be part of our focal point. And then now it's time to get to these die cut pieces. Okay, I think it would be nice to have a couple of maybe medium to small flowers. Like I really like this one, and I like that it's darker than the background, so it gives me a little bit more contrast. And I'm just going to place some here and there and just kind of lay it out and feel it out and see what is going to be good for us here, like that. What do you think? I think that looks darling. I absolutely love this. These are so beautiful and delicate, and there's so many pieces that you can use and layer up. I like also having this little bit of a darker flower to help with some contrast and give it that nice shape. So I'm going to stick this all down. Okay, so what I like to do is get my my art glue. I'm using Barely Art glue, but whatever art glue you have will work just fine. And then I'm going to move these guys out of the way for a minute, but I'm definitely using both of them. And I like to just keep at least one or two pieces in place so that I know kind of my placement and where I'm starting from. Make sure these are on top, and then I'm going to add glue back here and start sticking them down. And I am going to leave the tops of these flowers not glued so that they can kind of pop up a little bit like they are right there. It just gives it a little bit more movement and it looks really pretty. All right, so then we'll stick this flower down, and I'm just using, you know, just regular craft glue will work just fine. All right, and then we're gonna put this guy here. And then I like to bring in my focal point here and there just to make sure I'm still on track. All right, so then we'll leave him there so we can place these green foliage pieces right where we want them. And then we're just gonna tuck under here, let it stick out just a little bit. And again, not putting glue on the top part of the floral or the foliage, just the bottom, like 2/3 really. Okay, and then we're gonna tuck this one as well. Make sure it's sticking up like that. Oh, this is so nice. Okay, now the, excuse me, the butterfly, I'm just gonna put glue on the body because I really want those wings to stick up and hang out. And notice that the butterfly is kind of facing the opposite direction. So we've got leading lines going all around here, which is nice. There we go. I love this so much. We need to stamp a sentiment and put it on here. And let's see, we used these two. I really like Spread Your Wings and Fly. I like the shape of it and I love the sentiment itself. So let's use that one. And I'm just gonna stamp it onto white cardstock. And I'm gonna use black because it'll be, again, a nice contrast for us. Look at how perfectly that stamps. That is beautiful. Okay, so now we're just gonna cut this out. We're gonna layer it on a piece of this glitter cardstock. So I'm just gonna put some double stick tape down. And again, I'm just gonna use my scissors to cut this. You could definitely use a trimmer if you wanna be really precise. Tiny bit too long, there we go. And I'm just gonna put this right in the corner so then I only have to cut 2 sides. Nice. And then if you use longer scissors too, you really can just cut a pretty good straight line here. It's a little bit off, that's okay. There we go. Okay, so now let's stick this onto the card. Absolutely beautiful. The very last thing that I would like to do is use some of these Nouveau Dream Drops here and there just to add a little bit more dimension. This is really pretty and ethereal looking. Probably let's start with the butterfly here. I really love using Nouveau Drops or things like this because it just is a really quick and easy way to get your eye moving around a little bit more. And as it dries, that color is going to shift a little bit. It's got a really nice iridescence to it. So this is the final card. Lots of shimmer, lots of really beautiful blush colors, a little bit of green, and some sparkle. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you enjoyed this project and found some inspiration. Please visit Gina K Designs for more products and inspiration. Thanks. Bye.